Capping at the Bay is officially back, ladies and gentlemen.
Back.
We got Grigsby, and we got the divisional round coming up this upcoming weekend. Grigsby, I know you're excited just because the Chiefs are still in it. You're excited because we got the Chiefs, field in our background. I had to do that for you, but I
Right here at
mean,
home.
what
Right
what
here.
what do you think about the divisional round, like the setup so far? You think there's upsets, some like unexpected losses coming from people? What do you think?
And I think there's a couple people that are definitely an upset alert this weekend for sure. Uh, um, honestly, the wild card round was. I mean, I can't think of a better way to start it off than that Chargers Jaguars game. I didn't turn on the game until it was already 27-0, and I was like, you know what? Actually, me and Jay turned it on the way back from one of our tournaments. Turn it on 27-0 and watch that comeback. So that's it's a good year for the playoffs, man. So there's gonna be some good games this weekend. I'm excited.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, of course, we haven't been on since I don't know how long, but Steelers unfortunately didn't get into the
I agree.
playoffs. And even if they did, they probably got blown out by the Bills.
Mike
So
Tomlin is the truth.
he is definitely
Still,
the truth.
still,
He is the
still not a
king.
losing season. I'm not gonna lie. I had them winning like 5 games. That dude is the truth.
See, man, like
Kenny Pickett picked it up on the back half, man.
it was
That's
definitely
y'all's
a
answer.
recovery year for them, but not a 5-12 kind of season. It was going to be like an eight
I
eight
thought
and
it was gonna
nine
be rough.
record, 9-8 kind of record.
Thought it was gonna be rough. He pulled
Yeah.
through. He pulled through.
But we'll see for next year. But for now, let's get to this upcoming weekend starting on Saturday. We got your boys, the Chiefs, going against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Uh I mean, yeah, Jaguars pulling out the upset, and of course, Chiefs coming in with that first round bye. But will Trevor Lawrence stay undefeated after Saturday's game? He's 37-0 in Saturday games. I mean, that has to make you a little nervous.
Well, I don't think Patrick Mahomes is hasn't missed an AFC championship yet. So, I'm gonna keep that riding. We still got the Arrowhead Invitational going strong. So I definitely got the Chiefs winning this week. But I mean the Jags are doing all the right things, man. I'm glad to see Trevor Lawrence finally doing good, finally flourishing. I mean, it's pretty much like I said, was pretty much his rookie year, man. Last year was kind of a wash with the Urban Meyer nonsense and all that. So like I'm glad to see him get some stability as at the head coach. Doug Peterson comes from the Andy Reid coaching tree, he's doing the right things. I mean, they're a tough team, dude. Their defense, their pass rush is no joke. They definitely get really streaky. I mean, they're good in the middle, good in the back. And don't forget next year, no matter what happens this weekend, next year the Jaguars also add Calvin Ridley.
I did see that. Yep.
That's nasty, and he's doing the right. Like I said, Trevor Lawrence has been on one recently since like week 9. He's been one of the best quarterbacks in football. So they're definitely not someone to overlook. Obviously we handled them pretty good earlier in the regular season, but I think the Chiefs are gonna pull out on top. I got like 35-27. So I think we're gonna find the end zone quite a bit. We're gonna get hot. Whether it's three to four drives in a row, we're gonna get hot and score like we always do. Hopefully that defense can hold up, and Patrick Mahomes continue to play great through the second half and not just play one great half of football.
So but for sure it's going to be a high scoring game.
I think so. I would definitely take the over on it.
I'm going to check now. Who's I can't think on top of my head. Who's Jaguars tight end?
It's an excellent question.
Is that Ingram?
I think so.
Evan Ingram?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. Because I'm thinking Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk, and then Evan Ingram, like that.
Yeah.
It almost sounds like a young squad, almost like a Steeler squad right there. But at the same time, I mean, they produce a crap ton of yardage, crap ton
Oh,
of
good. Their offense
touchdowns.
hums, man. When their offense is on, they're on for sure. They can go
Yeah.
score with the best of them.
with a
especially on the latter half of the season, right? They're getting hot at the right time. They
yeah,
had some up and downs in the beginning, but like I said, Trevor Lawrence finally getting some stability under him.
over under is 52.5, by the way.
Yeah, what I say, 35-27? Yeah, that covers.
Huh? And Chiefs are -9.
Now, I don't trust the Chiefs against the spread. That is one stat that
Never.
does not go in their favor very often. Vegas likes them a lot more than they like to win close games. They get up a lot and then let teams fight back at the end. So
Yeah,
I don't know if I would take I'm gonna take the Jags to cover.
yeah. It would definitely be a close game. It's not going to be a two possession game. It will definitely come down to the final 2 minutes for sure. But uh
The
and
Chiefs will make it
also,
closer than it should be.
I mean, I can definitely see the Chiefs pulling this one out at the first start of the game. Definitely first half will probably be a two possession game heading into halftime. And then Jaguars just finds a way to come back, but not that much. But
Hey, as long as we don't have a historic collapse like we did last year in the AFC Championship, we're gonna be all right. Mahomes had to play at least 3 good quarters, right? You only played 2 last year. It cost us against the Bengals. I really hope the Bengals win. Want some
yeah.
revenge?
And checking injury report, it looks like Lawrence is questionable with a toe injury.
We'll be all right.
Hard McCall Hardman's been out, right?
Yes, he was. He just came off IR. They are currently working him through. But the rest of the Chiefs are healthy. There was looks like Allaire and Fortson will not play, but outside of that, looks like they got a full squad. But they
You don't
haven't
need
played for a
you
while.
don't
They
need
just came off IR as well.
DH.
And
You don't
honestly, like Pacheco's an upgrade over Hilaire anyway at this point, so not
yeah.
missing much.
But Chiefs will come out on top for sure. Uh but we got that down. Let's get down to that night game, which is the New York Giants versus the Philadelphia Eagles. This one I definitely did not see coming. I definitely now at the same time, Eagles versus or Giants versus Vikings, that was a 4:25 Eastern time game, which Vikings always find a way to lose whenever it's not a 1 o'clock game. So Giants at Eagles, this will be their third meeting. Do the Giants have what it takes to pull off what I believe is the upset of the year?
I don't know if it's quite upset of the year. I think that belongs to the Colts.
Okay, yeah.
Right. But or the Vikings, I guess, technically. But so this is I have 2 games pegged for upset alert, and this is one of them, right? So the Eagles had like I think they're better than the 11-0 Steelers from, what, to 12-0 Steelers from a couple years ago. I think they're slightly better than that
I
team.
have a good debate for that. All right. I'll
Right,
let
right.
you
And also, but like they had all the momentum early. They've had some injuries. Obviously, we don't know what Jalen Hurts is going to look like. He's been a full participant this week. So things are trending in the right direction for him. And he's everything I hear and see, from the leadership qualities, like he's tough, man. He's going to be out there. He wants to play. So I don't like it. Just depends on what they're going to scheme. Are they scheming those designed runs for him to go get those yards? Is he gonna not want to take hits? So like, and he's a gamer. I think if he's out there, he's gonna ball. But I mean, like, also like the offensive line's a little beat up too. Lane Johnson's probably one of the best linemen in football. And he's still got a growing injury. He was a full participant this week, but he's still on the injury list. So like, there's some questions that come up there. This thing is set up. If Daniel Jones has another game like he did last week, this one could come down to this may be whoever has the ball last is going to win the game.
Yep.
I got this one is like this. The Eagles are definitely and officially on upset alert.
Yep. Over unders 48. What do you think?
Ooh. The Giants got a tough D. I don't know how explosive that offense is going to be. I'll probably take the under here.
See, I think just because of that bye week into the wild card
It
week,
helps. It
Eagles
helps.
Eagles will definitely find a way to choke, but still might be able to come back on top.
I mean, Hurst didn't look like himself that last week.
Mm-hmm. But because he's still dealing with that shoulder injury, so
Right.
no,
And it's not
that
that
1
week.
week
So
might
like,
not be able to. You might not be able to recover with just that 1 week.
yep.
So, and if you're also a betting man, it's -7.5 for the Eagles. I would probably take Giants plus seven
Taking
and a half.
Giants to cover. I'm taking
Yeah,
Giants to cover.
they're
I mean,
definitely.
look what happened last week with the Bills, or the Dolphins and the Ravens with backup quarterbacks. Like both of them were
Mhm.
close to being upsets, man. Short of one play. Huntley's arm 6 inches longer. We talking about the Ravens and the Chiefs right now.
Yep. Uh, yeah, but Pickett made a good point about that. If you know where or how your offensive line is whenever that plays like that happen, sometimes you shouldn't even go on top. You just need to follow that offensive lineman
Unless
who's
you're
just
Trevor Lawrence.
like handling it. Trevor
Unless
Lawrence,
you're Trevor
yeah,
Lawrence. Got the
exactly.
reach.
But I see definitely will be an over game. I could see almost the same scenario as the Chiefs and Jaguars. It's going to come to the final play. It'll probably be like a 34-31 kind of game.
Chiefs win handily. I think it will be closer than it should be, but this one will come down to the wire. This one's
Yes.
going to come down to a field goal
Mm-hmm.
or missed field goal.
Uh, real quick, Dable or DeBall, don't know how to pronounce his name. Giants head
Dayball,
coach
yeah,
of the yes or
Brian
no?
Dayball. Oh,
Dable.
absolutely, he's in the conversation. Like you'd be stupid. Like Doug Peterson's in there. I mean, you talking Doug Peterson and Brian Dayball, right? And Brian Dayball did more with less. I feel like the Jaguars have an overall better roster than the Giants, right? And the Giants have some good pieces on defense. The line's starting to come together a little bit. But I mean, you got Daniel Jones at quarterback, and you literally solved his turnover problem in a single year, right? Like there's the dude that was known, like at this point last year, nobody was going to extend him, and now you have to have those conversations because Brian Dayball came in and changed the narrative, right? You also had a healthy Saquon, so like that matters too, right? So, but absolutely in that conversation, if not the leading candidate.
Mm-hmm. They Giants organization legit just went to a TGI Fridays, went to the kitchen, saw Brian Dable, and was like, "Hey, I want you to run this offense. Do you think you could do it?" They're like, "Shit, give me some free food. I might be interested in it." And sure enough, they got Saquon Barkley back up 100%. Freaking Danny Dimes of all quarterbacks is still in the playoffs. Like
Now
who?
he might
Definitely
have
not.
actually screwed the Giants because now they might have to extend him.
Well, shit. Whenever you know that Mike Lennon is the backup QB, like, yeah, you might have to make some kind of decision, either to extend him or draft a new quarterback.
We'll see. We'll see what this weekend looks like. They pull off an upset here. Pull off an upset here. That's a very strong coach of the year,
Mm,
coach of the year award right there.
for sure. So that wraps up Saturday's games. Let's go over to Sunday game. We would start out there with the Bengals going to Buffalo
Finally
to
get
go
to
against the Bills.
finally get to see it.
Yep.
Finally get to see it. And like I said, I hope. I kind of alluded to this earlier. I definitely want to see the Bengals win this game. The fact that Burrow is 3-0 over Mahomes kind of tears me a little bit, and I think we need to correct the narrative. So I really want to see the Bengals. I want to see the Bengals win here. I don't care if it's by 1 point or by 50 points. I want that rematch, right? Also, it means AFC Championship stays in Arrowhead instead of moving all the way to Mercedes out in Atlanta. So right, right. So
So you
also,
wanted
but like
the
now the
game
problem is, so the
going
Bengals just what they had two linemen go down last week, and they had another one go down earlier. So
they
Joe
had
Burrow's
like a
for
defensive
his
guy go down.
right. No, yeah, and they had two linemen go down as well. Right. So I mean they're a little banged up, or at least one. But they're a little banged up on the line too. But like, I mean, Burrow made it to the Super Bowl last year with no line. So their line's actually been playing at a higher level, especially the latter half of the season. I know it took them a couple games to kind of get it going. Actually, they were historically bad at the beginning, but they got it together. That's going to hurt him a little bit. I think it's gonna make him. I mean, he's really going to have to play lights out to do something this weekend, especially with that Bills pass rush. That Bills pass rush is no joke. I think it's going to be a different game tomorrow or on Sunday than even it was. Obviously before Damar Hamlin, that happened. Glad he's safe and all right, but I'm glad I get to see this rematch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that definitely tragic to watch for Damar Hamlin, but
No one ever wants to win or lose on the track. I know that costs a lot of fantasy stuff. I ended up having to split a pot in fantasy, but like I said, no, I technically won, but Jamar Chase didn't get to play. He only needed 10 points, right? No one likes to win off a tragedy.
yeah, I technically won that as well. I think I was winning by 33 points because Amanda Vance, she had week 18 as part of the fantasy. It was like week 17, week 18 combined the points.
Is that
And
one run?
even with that happening, I was still up by like 35, 36 points after week 18. So I was like, I think I actually won that.
Right.
And I think they had Josh Allen and Jamar Chase. So I have no idea on that one. But I had to split the pot as well.
Right. I chose to. I didn't have to, but I chose to.
I
It was
was
the
like,
right thing to do.
I'll be the
It was the
better
right
man.
thing to do. Like there's twice that Chase scored below that. And so like I definitely still had a shot at doing it, especially you talking about against the Bills defense. But it just wasn't the right thing to do. So but I split that one. I still won 2 out of 3 leagues, as you know. So it's changed up my strategy.
Jonah Williams tackle and guard Alex Kappa, I
Okay.
believe are the linemen. They're questionable right now with a kneecap and ankle injury.
And they lost one earlier in the year too, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And Trey Flowers, cornerback, is questionable.
Oh, that could end up being huge.
Bills, Jordan Poyer and Dane Jackson. I don't think he's a starter, but they're also questionable on Buffalo Bills defensive side. So yeah, I guess this will be a high scoring game. Let me go back to that. It's 49 over under. Yeah, it would definitely go over that.
I think I'm taking the under, dude. I think it's gonna be stingy. These teams are gonna tighten up, man. It's the playoffs. It's not. This is not the Chiefs and the Bills, and this is not the Bills of last year. They've had some up and down this year. They still score a decent amount, but not at the clip they were. Right? Like this is. This just it feels like a different team. Gabe Davis has not been. He started out really hot, but as of late, he has not been. And like he was a playoff miracle last year. He didn't. Nobody knew who he was until playoffs last year, right? And so he started out this year kind of hot. He had some deep balls, but it just hasn't been doing what everybody expected.
He
Kind of
definitely hit that on a few weeks, but other
he's
than
like
that,
he's like a
most
McCole
games he
Hardman or like an MSB. Like he's all right, but he's not a. I think he's a little overhyped.
Sunday, cloudy skies with afternoon snow showers.
And this is a Buffalo, correct?
Buffalo. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the weather. So, like Kansas City, Cincinnati, and Buffalo, all three are cold weather teams, right? So, like, I don't think you're going to get a weather advantage out of any of those matchups between any of those three, right? Now, Jacksonville's the only one that's at a disadvantage there because it is warmer and stuff like that. But like out of those three, I don't think the weather or anything like that is going to deter any of these teams from doing what they want to do. Now the Bengals would be the only one that like I feel like their rushing attack is the most suspect. The Chiefs can run the ball, they choose not to, but when they do run the ball, they're actually very efficient at it. Like most of running backs right now, McKinnon and Pacheco are both over 4 yards a clip, right? When they run the ball. So like when they do it, it's effective. It's just whether they're going to actually call the play or not. But the Bengals actually do have somewhat like their run offense is a hit or miss. Joe Mixon is one of the best backs, and they got P Ryan to back him up. But they definitely didn't get it done the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's probably going to be an over game no matter what the weather is because I don't know if you've been noticing how the players would just be out there in no sleeves, nothing like that. They're acting
Yeah, so,
like it's
so,
100
so were the
degrees out
Seahawks,
there.
and you saw how that played out.
Yes.
They got
Oh.
smacked trying to do that in Kansas City.
But yeah, those players are definitely different. I would not pull that off. You'll see me with two long sleeve dry fit kind of shirts on top of my jersey. I'm having hand warmers no matter what. Even if it's during the play, I'm having a hand warmer on there.
We didn't get to wear sleeves in high school. It was frowned upon. So even in high school, like there was a couple games that were below freezing for sure. We didn't get to wear sleeves.
Me. Yeah.
But we were great.
Arkansas and Missouri weather has to probably be the worst when it comes in the South.
Right.
Because up there in Pennsylvania and New York, they're still going to work whenever it's 6 feet of snow.
Right. They don't shut the town down when it's forecasted snow.
Whereas Missouri, Arkansas, we think it's freaking global warming.
No, Arkansas, Missouri is different. So I went to school quite a bit growing up, and even though it's only 40 minutes north of where I live now, they definitely handle it differently. They will give you snow days, definitely have snow days, but here it's like they forecast it, boom, they shut everything down.
Mm-hmm.
In Missouri, they give you a chance. They give you a chance, and I've been to school when there's been 6 inches of snow too.
Oh yeah, there were memes. I remember it was a person was saying, "Oh, there's no way we can have summer, winter, fall, and spring on one."
Missouri said, "Hold my beer."
Arkansas is like, "Hold my beer."
Right. You don't like the weather around here. Wait an hour.
All right. So you want the Bengals to win.
I got the Bengals winning. And it's gonna be like 24-20.
Okay. So another one possession game.
It's gonna be tight. What's the spread?
If I remember correctly, 5.5 right now.
Yeah. 5.5 the Bills?
In favor of the Bills. Minus 5.5 for the Bills.
The Bengals cover.
Bengals cover.
I'm taking the loser to cover so far. 3.
And with that, probably the most disappointing matchup I don't want to see.
Think so?
Getting into this weekend. Cowboys going to San Fran.
This will be more electric. This will be more electric than the other NFC matchup. I think this one's gonna hit the over. This one's definitely hitting the over. I don't care what it is.
Yeah. Can you see Dak pull off another miracle against the number one defensive?
So, like I said, I want the rematch with the Bengals. I don't think we should run from them. I don't think we should be scared of them. Like the fact that Joe Burrow's 3-0 against Mahomes, that definitely, I'm sure, eats at them, right? So I'm sure they want that one. So the Bengals do, like, they as a Chiefs fan, it makes me a little nervous. The ones that worry me more than any other team remaining in this divisional round is the San Francisco 49ers. And that is because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how they line up. It doesn't matter. Like, they got so many weapons, and that defense is so dang good. Like, they are going to hit you from every side and then go punch you in the mouth on defense, right? Yeah. So, like, it's a lot of playmakers to keep track of. And, like, Brock Purdy is playing like Mr. Relevant, not Mr. Irrelevant, right? So I think, like, I actually want Dallas to win, for the fact that the 49ers make me the most nervous. I do not want to see that Super Bowl rematch. They are firing all cylinders, and Brock Purdy is a lot scarier than Jimmy Garoppolo. He would have made that pass. To Emmanuel Sanders there at the end to win the Super Bowl. So, yeah, I think this one's going to be high scoring, and it depends. This whole game comes down to one person, and that's Dak Prescott. Is he going to throw 3 picks? Or is he going to play like he just did in the wild card round, which is one of the best games he's played in his career? So if he can tighten up on the mistakes, I think the Cowboys have a very legitimate shot to win it. As long as they handle it, the run game, from the 49ers. I think as long as they keep them under 100 yards. Now that they let them run for 150, 170, it's gonna be a wrap. It's gonna get ugly quick, right? Especially if Dak starts making mistakes. If he plays a clean game, I think they got a legitimate shot to win it.
In case you were wondering, Dak Prescott was 25 for 33, threw for 305 yards for 4 TDs. Pass rating was 143.3.
Yeah, it's one of the best games of his entire career. I think it's like top 3 or something like that.
It has to be top
Right.
three, if not.
Historically good game for him. And that's what both teams starting out really slow. Both teams went 3-and-out on the first like 2 or 3 drives, right? Of that game. And then he just took off. So, like I said, Dak plays a clean game, minimizes his mistakes, which actually this year, him leading the lead interceptions, that's not Dak historically, as much as I don't like to admit it, Dak has not ever had a problem turning over the ball like that. This is actually the outlier in his career since he's been a rookie. Historically, he does take care of the football. He does, like the year they had the best offense. I mean, his turnovers were up a little bit, but nothing to be like concerned about. So as long as he keeps playing clean football, they got a very legitimate shot to pull this upset off.
The 49ers are -4 right now. Over under is 46.5.
I'm going to take the over, and I bet the 49ers cover.
See, and I thought 45 was going to be too low for the Buccaneers Cowboys game, but Brady was always like a second half kind of quarterback to
Right.
where he's not, it'll be like a 6-9 kind of
He's
score.
old,
Now,
always got a puncher's chance.
I was saying 9-6 at halftime until I saw Dallas's kicker just completely wrecking on the extra points.
That actually makes me happy because Chiefs kicker has struggled hard this year, and he's like up until this year, before this year. Now, like he's missed some extra points for sure, but if we're talking field goal make percentage, this dude, like there's Justin Tucker and Harrison Butker has been right there. Y'all's kicker is actually pretty elite too. Y'all got a good one too. But Harrison Butker's been second best in the league historically. You up until this year, and I think he's like 75% or something that most kickers get fired for. But seeing that Dallas kicker kind of just was like, all right, maybe it's not just Butker. So they need to figure something out. He needs to start. He needs to practice a little bit. He hit a couple extra reps this week.
Yeah, because I was at the game, and I'll tell you, there was no wind, nothing like that. It was cold. I mean, being in that kind of weather, it actually does a big impact on the
What do you
football.
mean cold?
Huh?
What do you mean cold? What was it like
Oh,
60?
we had a little cold front here in Tampa, all right?
It was
Like,
64. You had a
yeah, I actually had to I
sleeve.
had to wear shoes this time. I didn't have to wear
Right.
my
Terrible, terrible, sad. You cry.
legit. It was in the 30s. If I'm being completely honest with you,
Tampa.
we actually had a cold front here. That dad was like, "You're actually going to show up in shorts and all that?" I was like, "What do you mean?" And I walked outside. I was like, "Yeah, you're right."
Never learn your lesson.
You're bringing up the flow trip, aren't you?
Never learn your lesson.
Man, as soon as I didn't see any palm trees in northwest Arkansas, I was like, "Oh hell."
Oh, it's not like you didn't grow up there.
And bringing up old crap as
So,
usual. That
so
was
okay.
3 years
So who
ago.
you got winning this?
I have the 49ers winning this one. It will be a close one, though. I think it will be like a 27-21 game.
Oh, see, I got like a 38-33.
High scoring.
38-33. Yeah, I think it's gonna be
I mean,
high
it's still
scoring,
gonna
man.
hit the over. It'll still hit the over, but not
I
not
think
that
the,
much.
I think Dak's gonna give him their best shot. As long as Cowboys don't give him the F game, which like you said, you never know which one you're gonna get. I think Dak's gonna give him their best shot. I think he's tired of throwing those picks, throwing those interceptions. But I think, dude, that yeah, I think Cowboys are gonna pull the upset. I think
So
Cowboys
so
38-33.
so when first day came here, Stephen A. Smith was talking directly to Dak Prescott's dad, saying that he's going to throw 2 picks.
I saw it. I saw it.
It's going to happen this weekend.
Saw
He's
it.
going to throw at least 3 interceptions.
So
He's
the
going to
49ers
have
will not cover. The Cowboys are gonna cover.
he's going to have that first one in I would say the second or third quarter,
You
and
think he
then
throws a pick six?
going to continue
What's the
the season.
over under on him throwing a pick six?
Well, over under is probably going to be like
Oh, what was the money line? What minus 200?
49ers exactly -200. but they are favoring the spread to go for the Cowboys +4. They do have
Cowboys +4.
as the favorite.
I think Cowboys are going to cover. And I said San Francisco. I mean, Cowboys will cover. Cowboys will cover. I think the Cowboys are going to pull the upset. I think they finally make it to the big dance. It's been what?
20.
You were born? Who
95,
were you
95,
born? 95?
97. I'm not that old yet.
97? So yeah, you've never seen a Dallas Cowboys. You've never seen a Dallas Cowboys NFC Championship.
And look, I'm still living because that just brings me joy.
I had to wait long. I had to wait longer than you were for the first Chiefs one, so it's all right.
And Steelers, I think
it was worth the wait though.
Appearance was 2010.
Yeah, so, but it might be a while before you get another one.
Hey.
I may not win your division for a while. Y'all be good.
Division 2 years ago when I was still in
it might be a while.
Yeah, no. Pick it.
At least 2 more years. We'll see if your division gets easier next year. We'll see what happens with Jackson.
No, once we have a healthy defense, TJ Watt was missing all those games. We could have won 2 or 3 more games.
Joe Burrow's the second best quarterback in football right now.
Joe Burrow also has a disgruntled offensive line that he could definitely win more games if it was for the line. But
right.
if they don't get that together, then they're not going to have a 12-4 record like they did.
When they start at 1-2.
Yeah, because Steelers
nasty finish. Beat them. Pretty nasty finish to the season.
So those are the divisional matchups. I want to leave it off with this. Who do you think will make it to the Super Bowl?
So I got
the matchup.
Okay, I do have the Eagles on upset alert. I think they're going to find a way to squeak it out. And I think if the Cowboys pull off the upset against the 49ers, I think they're going to lose to the Eagles in the championship game. So I got Eagles, Kansas City, which is my original pick.
Eagles, Kansas City. Mine's different. I got Bills versus the 49ers.
That was some 49ers, man. As much I'm pulling for Dak. I hope he pulls through. My heart tells me the 49ers, but I think I like Eagles Chiefs. I'm going to Eagles Chiefs.
This is the reason for my matchup is because nobody so far has found a way to beat the 49ers, even with Brock Purdy. And
Chiefs smacked him up pretty good. Chiefs put up a 40 burger on the number 1 defense.
What time are you thinking?
As soon as they sign Christian McCaffrey.
Okay, well, I'm talking about now. They finally figured out.
That was their last loss.
They finally figured
because they're like, oh yeah, they're undefeated since Christian McCaffrey started. Not since he played. He played against the Chiefs.
How about Purdy? Was Purdy playing that Chiefs game?
No, that was Garoppolo. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so
you're right. Like Purdy does scare me more. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see if his luck continues throughout the playoffs. Playoff football is way different for a rookie, right? Historically, the odds are not in his favor.
Well, look at what he did against Seattle last week.
Against Seattle, thank you. A team that everybody picked to be last in their division this year. Thank you. They were winning off of rookies and a Geno Smith that came out of nowhere, right? That was a Cinderella dream that finally turned midnight for the carrots finally turned back into a pumpkin.
I think if Stafford played, if he didn't play like he was this entire time, the Rams would definitely be last in that division. Like if way before around preseason time and we found out Stafford was injured and not playing this season, then Rams would be the favorite as last place.
I mean, and don't forget last year Stafford led the league in interceptions.
Yeah, trust me, I know. I had him in fantasy.
Right. Yeah, their line is so suspect this year. I don't
But
think Sean McVay is going to be calling games next year. Although I heard Aaron Donald's coming back.
oh my gosh, he needs to go to Pittsburgh. He needs to
Yeah,
do
because that's fair. Let's put TJ Watt and Aaron Donald right next to each other with
and Cameron Hayward. Don't forget about
get
Hayward.
out of here, bro. No one wants
The
to see that.
most, the most snubbed. What was it? Pro
That's
Pro.
a hey, that's a whole lot of defensive firepower to go freaking 10-7.
Oh, dude, with that cap space that we have, because we signed all these rookies, we probably
Get some
have enough.
freaking linemen. Get some linemen so Najee Harris can actually run the damn ball.
They finally figured it out, but I will admit
Not figured it out.
they
They
need
did
to
not
draft
figure it
at
out.
least
They would be in the playoffs if they had figured it out.
over unders 2.5 for drafting linemen in this upcoming draft. I have that. It needs to be way over that. It needs
Like
to
a
be done
4.5. Yeah.
4.5. It needs to be way
They need to
over.
go get one. They need to go get one veteran in the offseason, like a free agent, the best free agent available. I don't care if it's a tackle or a guard or whatever. They need to go get the best free agent lineman available and then build around that.
Who's your guard for the Chiefs?
Joe Tooney, second team All Pro,
I think
and Trey Smith
I'm thinking of
on the other
Humphrey.
side, steal of the draft last year, 6th-round pick from Tennessee.
Is that who I'm
I think he's second team All Pro maybe.
or it wasn't Creed Humphrey that I'm thinking of, right?
Two.
Creed Humphrey.
Got him.
Like this is what I was thinking. I was thinking about giving Deontay Johnson over to y'all.
I know, no. We don't need none of that, bro. Our line ain't going nowhere. Nowhere. We gotta protect Michael Jordan over here, bro. Chill.
But I do know that offensive line needs to be taken care of. Canada needs to get out, even though they are
I don't
going
know
to
what the hell. I don't know what the hell y'all doing with him still there. That I saw that come through. That he's gonna stay as offensive coordinator. That's disappointing, bro.
Tomlin.
Very disappointing.
He's
I could close one eye and probably pick better plays than that. That's pretty bad. And I know, I'm sure that job is very challenging and very difficult. And there's a whole lot of moving pieces in that, and understanding the defenses and the schemes and everything else. But dang, that dude is not good at it.
At one point was like, I can't hear. Screw it. I'm calling my play. And sure
guess what? They started winning. They started winning when he started doing that.
I know that. The entire west side of Pennsylvania,
right.
Pittsburgh, I'm talking about Pittsburgh, understood that part.
Right.
They knew that from the very start. They knew Pickett was the man, and he was
coming back
games for us if he did not listen to Matt Canada.
Right. Bad.
So I agree, but Tomlin is too nice. So we're gonna have to deal with him.
He's doing something right. I probably trust whatever that man says. He knows football, bro.
And next season, it's going to be a 12-5 record. I will put money on that.
Better what? What when we played the Steelers last year, was that better than a bye? I think that's what we called it last year. Better than a bye.
Steelers are gonna be the future. Let's just say that. Even more of a future than the Bengals.
That's a false statement right there. Bengals are freaking hot, and I hate it, but they're hot. I gotta give it. I don't like Joe Burrow. I think he's kind of cocky. I like Josh. I got mad respect for Josh Allen. I got mad respect for Justin Herbert. I got mad respect for Trevor Lawrence. I respect Joe Burrow, but he's just cocky. I don't like him.
All I know is we ain't got to worry about the Ravens now. They're not going to be anything.
They're gonna have they headed for some rough times, man. They should have paid Lamar. I say that I don't know, because if he gets hurt next year, so I think they're gonna try to franchise tag him next year. And if he gets hurt, that'll be 3 years in a row. 3 years in a row of him sustaining injuries, right? Which is like that at that point, regardless of how good he was for that peak, that means the Ravens won. If he gets hurt again next year, that means they made the right choice.
Yep.
So that's a big freaking gamble. If he goes somewhere else and he ends up beating them in the playoffs, or like they're gonna eat that till the day they die, dude. That's the best. That's the best quarterback they've had all time, right?
I'm just gonna be sipping on my tea and eating my popcorn while that shit hits the fan.
Watching some playoff football.
Oh my god. Hey, you know what? I got the Jaguars winning this week.
Hey, no, Trevor Lawrence is a real deal, dude. If they keep building around him, the Jaguars are gonna be a problem. But that's a healthy NFL, man. When the Giants are back in it, when Jacksonville's doing good, the Jets are on to come up. That's the NFL's at its best. This was
I
actually
always
I did see
enjoyed
a
that.
stat earlier. This year, the average margin difference for the entire year was like 9 points, which is the smallest it's been since 1932. So that means this is the most competitive the NFL has ever been, top to bottom.
I always enjoyed new teams in the playoffs. So
Even
yeah,
the Texans were a little frisky there
Jaguars.
at the end.
Yep. Jaguars, Giants, Jets were about to come
Right.
up. The Dolphins figured something out just a tad bit. Still think Tua's not the guy, but yeah.
Tua is not the guy. Tua, hopefully, I pray for that man's safety, man. Because hey, did was Mike McDaniel's vaping on the sideline?
He sure was.
He sure
He
was, right?
sure was. Now
I'm gonna call
people
that
are
vape.
arguing that it was a pin, it was a black pin, and he was just going like this. Like, is this play gonna work? So it could have been a pin, but it could have been a vape pin as well. I have no idea.
Vape Gate 2023.
Hey, it didn't win him a Super Bowl, so why does it even matter?
Right, right.
Fake game. All right. Well, I think that's a good way of ending it. But divisional round
Hey,
starts.
hold on. We got cap or no cap. Hold on.
You got
Cap or
Kaepernick.
no cap or no cap. Tom Brady plays for a different team next year.
Uh, does retirement count as a different team?
No.
Because I think he needs to retire. He made that mistake to come out of
A no,
retirement.
a no can mean he plays for the Bucks or he retires. Or yes, he is going to play for a different team.
So cap, he's playing for a different team. No cap, he's staying at Tampa Bay.
Tom Brady plays for a different team next year. Cap means he retires or plays for the Bucks. No cap means he is playing for a different team.
Okay, yeah. I don't know what I was getting at. Makes sense. Yeah, definitely cap.
Yeah, I think
Definitely.
so. I don't
Yeah,
know. I feel like he already gave up like his family and stuff like that. Like
yeah. You have
there's
to
a certain
you
point. It's
have to
like,
stick
oh,
with it.
screw this. I got to play at least one more.
Yeah, you gotta stick with the team that you
But he didn't play very good.
you threw your
Probably
marriage
one of
out
his
the
worst
window. You
playoff
threw your
performances
kids
in his
out.
career.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that sucks for me. If I'm staying in Tampa, I'm gonna have to spend $300, $400 on a damn ticket just to watch Brady throw three interceptions, and they still win like 9-6. Like that,
Yeah,
I
with
knew that
with
from the
a
start.
way with a 2 minute drill drive to score the 9.
Yep. It's gonna be 6-6, and it just goes back and forth, and then sure enough, Brady just has the
Right.
ball with 2 minutes left, and then they kick a field goal.
All right,
Oh, that's so
I got one
accurate.
more. I got one more for you.
I bet.
Cap or no cap? Chicago Bears draft a quarterback with their first pick next year.
Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. That's with a trade. Like they
Cap or
trade.
no cap? The Chicago Bears draft a quarterback with the first pick next year.
God dang it. I think Cap, because they're gonna trade something, or
I agree.
somebody's gonna want that first round pick.
I think that's cap. I think that's cap. I think they're
They,
going to ride with Fields. I think they're
they,
going to ride with Fields. I think they're going to trade up and load up.
yep,
Trade
exactly.
back and trade back and load up.
Get rid of Chase Claypool.
Yeah, right. They lost. They had they I don't think they won a game after they got him.
We got 3 draft picks in the first 2 rounds. I love it.
Top 3 wide receiver, my ass.
I was like, what?
Go
I
back
was
to
like,
Canada.
You need to go on capping at the Bay or something. You need
Right.
some stuff. All right. That ends it. Hope to see Grigsby next weekend for the championships. Hopefully, Chiefs make it. But in the meantime,
You probably won't see me if they don't.
I'm gonna have to run the show all by
I'm
myself.
just kidding. I'll be here. I'll be here. I'll be here.
All right. In the meantime, y'all be safe and take care.
Take it easy.